Hello and welcome as it is the 10th day of July 2019. My name is Derek. Like always, all bets, trades of the like. Well, that's within your own risk and your own reward. Oh, people will say, oh, this is risky, risky. And you know what? Damn right it might be. And well, damn right it's rewardy as well. And when you're in situations when rewards are available, well, it's up to you if how much and how you could how what you can take from it, based on, of course, your crypto portfolio balance. Only price pays in this market. And one of my theories on Fibonacci, and this is a little interesting on this chart. I'll get to that in a little bit, but before that, is when calculating Fibonacci upside, it's really, really difficult for me to do because what I talk about is I need an uptrend. Okay, then I need a good price correction and the good three wave bars down in here. Okay, so we had this low here at 57.34. But one of my theories is, you know what, if it doesn't hit this line, the 61.8, and even if it does go below the 61.8, I would have to think that's the number you go with. So what I did is I calculated Fibonacci. We can see the high on here, if you look at the top left, it's 63.37. So I put 6,337 in my Fibonacci calculator and 5,617, as that would have been the 61.8% down move. So amongst such, we got those numbers in here. The up target this time says 6,827. If you look at the high right now for today, 68.33, piercing above it by 6 basis points. Now, the interesting thing about this is capped in a percentage basis, so it's not like price action that always runs in the same type of level in which it might have to be a little more uh, especially when this goes like to like 80, 90, or 10, 15, 20. If it's and that type of number, then you might have to use fancy ways on this. But as far as regular price action is concerned, it works usually pretty fine. So we'll take a look at this, move it on to Bitcoin, and take a look at the Bitcoin Fibonacci because it's working impressive as well too. Okay, so up move, and it's been going down. All right, so for the monthly chart, in the day number 10 of 31, price action is up 1,000 basis points, or $1,000 plus 9.37% right now. Just hanging in there, green candle for the most part. But as price action rejected resistance on both the 18 lows and highs, and has really rejected even just a large pierce above that comes back fast because, well, it's not coming back. So far, an inside period. 18 average starting to re-rise again. That's there's a bullish sign right there. Bull market rising 18, bear market declining 18. Well, I don't see any real declining ones. A little bit here, but that's about it. Of course, we'll see it when we go into different time frames. There's the declining 18 average in here, and this has just been steadily rising on the weekly. Amongst the weekly, just a bunch of sideways action going on from this high. We can see just a couple hanging in there after it had this major hang in there week right in here on the June 24th timestamp. Actually, no, throw that back. That was a high. No. 3-day chart. Nice finding support here at the 18, and really just still hanging in there. Just a resistance to a lower high here, but doing so amongst an amazing, amazing uptrend. Let's switch the exchange to Coinbase, and this will give us the Fibonacci levels. And it hit it again. Okay, well, let's look further amongst these time frames in the daily. Same sort of deal with this 18 average, how it's been, it's not even going sideways. So uh, there hasn't been any evidence of this even starting to lose momentum. That's what 18 going sideways is as the next step. There hasn't been any touches of the 18 low since it lifted off there on July the 2nd. Although we're having a little bit of a pullback. We're down 6% for the day. When viewing this on the third day chart, 1/3, 33.3333% of a day, we can just see how amazingly these Fibonacci lines have been hitting when it comes to this resistance. A large pierce. That's what the pierce aboves look like because it comes back down fast. And it was a good pierce above. Decent move. Another close to 1,000 basis points, or 900 above. Or in percentile terms, 8, 7% extra. Not bad. And this one was just a normal, regular pierce above. It's just luck that it pierced above compared to. I'm kidding. It's not luck. It just happens to work out like this many times when I put these lines in. Price action is back to this level of key resistance. We can see it's at the 18 average of lows. Last time was in the lows area was between the 20-hour timestamp July the 4th, and really, even though it never touched it for a few periods, it was near it, leaving at July the 7th on the 12-hour timestamp. This was this period here, this real nice little sideways, not doing much. And this is where not much meant a lot. Because when we took a look at this, even though it was not guaranteed it was going to do what it did, it was showing you that as it was leaving this lower end here, it was able to hold it for one full period. And then, oh, there's the nice little break. 1, 2, 3 great candles up, and then a little bit of further momentum after small correction. We're having a bigger one right now, coming back to, again, where we came from. 3-hour chart, there's boom, boom, boom. Nice three little big candles down. A lot of consolidation we can see at this 12,930. Now, from this point on, I'm going to switch this up to the Binance chart because we're going to go more short term. And we got more Fibonacci lines in here. So let's just change the T in there. But the 12,930 does coincide within this calculation here at 12,859. And we can see that it breezed through. There's no support at 12,216, which means usually it moves to the next level. And that next level is 11,224. Pending, of course, a failed breakdown. Because a failed breakdown usually is right around in between, well below a key breakdown point, which was that pierce below at 12.14 handle. And now, of course, just a decent move difference from here. So that's one of the possibilities, but you got to give this the benefit of the doubt. Now that we didn't support this, that we're going to retest this area here. And we look at this. Now let's just take a look at this. Was there any support shorter term here? And then the spoiler answer is going to be yes. And did Fibonacci act normally like it did? Again, the answer will be yes. We can see in here on the single hour, after two big red waves down, that we had some sideways move and then just boom, break this key support, which was first established in here, then retested again earlier during these 3 or 4 key points. When we look at this on the 15-minute term time frame, there we can see it. There was support here. Before it came down at 11 o'clock, and it really didn't start breaking down from about 1500 hours, which is another 4 hours later. And you can just see in here all the setups for this big move. Is there anything telling you this is going to happen when you looked at the market from this point of view? Especially when you add in this Fibonacci line as we're seeing it in here. As you have the move and you support it, okay, that's what we're asking for. And you come back down and, well, there hasn't been any type of big move to get above the highs, and it's not holding on this leg lower. And in here, we could just trying to go like, well, either yeah, as it's breaking down, we can see this probably more clearly on the 4-minute term time frame. And yeah, so here's the key level of support. Has the it's a fast move. You only had a little bit to get in on this, and oftentimes one of the things I'm thinking about when you have a big break of a level where you're going to go down, there's a couple ways you could do it. You could just go down and down further after that, which didn't happen here. Or if it's going to be a move, it's going to be maybe just a little bit down move first, and now you're going to resist where you supported, which is exactly what happened here as it comes in here. So at this time frame, it's either one of two things, just what I said, or that failed breakdown. Obviously, was there signs of the failed breakdown after? Maybe, but eek, and then, okay, well, it's kind of neutral, nothing bullish or bearish, and obviously, okay, well, there we go. Now it's leaving. And no surprise, they have a further gain. Now we're consolidating in within this range in here, and that's where we stand. If it continues to do so, it will flatten out the band. But at this stage, if we see any weakness over the next 2, 3, 4 periods or something like this, I wouldn't be surprised if that another leg lower is going to come into play, and thus a test of the next level at 11,224 when looking at this at a very short-term level. Now let's cross this up within the Litecoin cross against Bitcoin, which to say was a very volatile day, especially starting at 11 o'clock this morning. Most certainly is the case. We'll first look at this from a long-term time frame on the 3-day term. I got this line here, probably don't need it, but for whatever, we'll just keep it there for now. Actually, I don't need it, so we'll just get rid of it. But amongst this in here, superior nice up move and just moves like this offers chances to scalp back in and out when I talk about buy low, sell high. I do. If you do trade Bitcoin against these markets, it's been volatile right now. And the opportunity, okay, if you buy in here, you have an opportunity to get a quick sale. If, of course, you're around during this time frame, and then you look at the daily chart, there's the situation in here where you have that move up, and so lots of opportunities to sell at the 17 handle, and then it goes down. And really, all you're doing for the whole time frame in here is just buy back from anything you sell in here. Because even breaking this resistance, like okay, 14 I'm selling. Oh, 15.2 I'm selling. Oh, 16.5 I'm selling. Oh, 17.3 or something I'm selling. Oh, 17.3 I bought. Now I'm buying 50, like 15. You buy in all those different spots, and even now at these lower points here, markets in which you were selling, say back in February, when you're like, oh, 106, time to sell. Maybe you're buying those back today, and depending on, of course, a lot of your volatility. But within those trading strategies that I talk about, that's really part of the game. Is there's going to be situations of trades that aren't going to get the buy back or sell back, wherever you want to look at it, maybe for months, and this, of course, being one of those cases. We look at this on, we'll just keep on going back this way, probably to the 1 minute. Yeah, we will go to the 1 minute time frame because I got to show 11 o'clock this morning and then how it rebounded after that. So here's a failed breakout. Just prototypical move. You have this major decline in here. First attempt to get above the 18, it does this in here. Then thereafter, the fact, what are we seeing? Well, the price action comes down in here, does make the higher low, comes back to where it come from, has ample time in this correctionary phase as it stayed within the 18 lows for quite some time, but then leaving it, exitation of the band around 4 o'clock on July 8th time period, and then just continuation down. This is the first green candle we've had since this situation of the breakdown here, and the breakdown has been a successful one that broke down below a key level of support, and then a reasonable leg lower, as I talk about within the three bears analogy, where their situations, like their porridge or beds, whatever, had to be just right. And I say the same thing here, at least for just effective chart analysis pattern. And that is the move can't be too small, which would have been like going to like 900. That's just a little bit below. That's too small. In this area here, around 850, just right. If it would have had a superior large move down to like 600, well, that's a game changer. That's like that's like massive aggressive move, major capitulation, or the opposite end, however you want to look at it. Because if one market goes up, then obviously the other goes down, type thing. Okay, looking at the 3 hour term time frame, meaning if you reverse the cross, instead of looking LTC versus BTC, if you look BTC versus LTC, yeah, and I could do that actually on here, but I'm not going to. So anyway, 3 hour term time frame, continuation on the decline, and there's where it came into the 18 on the 8 hour timestamp, had this large move, but we can say it was very short term action at the 826 handle. I was able to get a little bit then, but not much. But I was able to buy a bit of Litecoin down at those lower levels, which is nice to see. And there's the continuation on this 1 hour time frame all the way down, resisting the 18, continuous lower low. And this is just a massive one. We can see in here at 8 o'clock in the morning, it had this nice little high, a failed breakout before it, but 11 o'clock is when it had this big move. So that's what we want to take a look at on the shorter term now, 15 minute. This to me looks like I think it was one of those just someone spotted up big. So if you happen to be lucky enough to have sell orders, but I'll re-examine it because I can't remember the situation. But well, here we go. What do we have before the fact? This is how it looked before it went down. I got to pause the tape for a second. And it's back now, instant on your end. But I did have a phone call, so that took about I don't know. Well, you can see the time on here on well, it's 15-minute time, not really. Maybe 20, 30 minutes. And we're looking at 15, we're looking at this. So there's a move that happened after that. I was explaining how we had the big down move. I don't know if I've already said this, but what's happened since when coming to the 18, it had a beautiful sideways move, another smaller move, just and look, all these little tiny periods, like eight, nine of them, within the 18 highs, and then three in a row like this. Nice little gain. We haven't came back to where we came from, not yet. And where we came from may change. Where we came from might be this little area. Meaning, what would be ideal or interesting is maybe we settle in for like 5, 6 more 15-minute periods, support the 89.8 handle, resist wherever. Right now, we've established resistance short term at 91.28ish area. And yeah, and then we go up here, and now we come back to where we come from. And obviously, we are seeing that failed breakdown fast move higher. But in seeing this on the 1 minute term, oh look, and even just now, 1 minute, nice little establishment. We've had this nice little run up here with all of these higher highs and higher lows, which concluded at 1653. Right now, it is that of 1729. That is Cincinnati, Ohio time. And nice little move. Okay, we're coming back to where we came from. We'll see if anything comes out of this. But I want to see what happened earlier and the 11 o'clock move. So at 11 o'clock, that's the first thing that I want to see. And we can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes down. I was able to get a little bit of this bottom end area here within my ratio trading. And that was always nice to pick up a little bit of Litecoin, and then, of course, moving into my Trezor wallet, which I did 20 minutes before the start of this video, maybe a half hour. So before, yeah, this is just one of those one person bought big deals. The move price action was buying at 90, paid a little bit of a premium. We got a 910 to 950, so 40, like 4 or 5%, 3%. So I'm probably buying on average of maybe 926, 927, unless you got data, which I could get, and I'm not going to check. That would be hard to say. And technically speaking, I'd have to pay for it, which is with via PayPal. That's just whatever. Anyway, that is Litecoin. Let's talk about ratio trading a little bit and see if I got anything available, because what I've done is I've seen myself with a sea of red on my spreadsheet. As what I have here is since July 7th, or June, yeah, July 7th in the 15:45 period. So this is 3 days and almost 2 hours, 1 hour and 45 minutes. Since how all these coins are doing against Bitcoin and the US dollar. Bitcoin's only up 2.35% on my last update. It was up like 12, 13% earlier today. But all of these are now screaming down in the red, not only against the dollar, but against Bitcoin. So big volatility. And you know, when I see my portfolio go down, I think to myself, I look at my gold and silver and I say to myself, well, I'm sure it's going to work. I mean, I know it's not 100% that this is coming through, but I know there's these volatile moves, and I'm just going to keep trading the numbers normally. But I'm thankful that I've been accumulating metals. And then, say, assume we got, 2, 3, 400 Litecoin coming, everything goes up, dartboard rally. Oh man, you know, I guess I could have bought better, meaning if I didn't buy last month and I didn't buy last year at this time, I would have had a better deal now. You know what? That's how I think anyway. So as far as these prices are concerned, let's take a look at it this way and see that Cardano hasn't changed since my last update. ARK is only up 1 basis point more. And I'm looking for at least 7% minimum. And I want better than that even. And one thing I like to do in here is try to get a better deal. Meaning, if I have a ratio of something that says I may be like, say, 8% from last trade, I want to try to increase that number, and oftentimes I do. So Bitcoin price hasn't changed since my last update. It's at 11,750. Dash at 1258. It's now 1263. That's a small gain. DGB unchanged. Ethereum Classic. It's been pretty volatile today. 616. The Go chain is 117. No change. GRS pretty much the same at 2732. I bought some of that earlier today. Komodo is at 1159, down a little bit. Litecoin at 907 now. Neo at 1341 before, now 1338. Qtum at 350. Sky coin the same. T-Fuel at 74. THETA has been an interesting beast today. I have sold THETA pretty decently today for a lot of different crossings, as it overperformed a lot of the markets. We'll show that too, I suppose, as well, because it had an interesting day. It didn't get its ass kicked really like the other ones were, and that's basically, it's basically selling a coin that's not doing as bad for coins that were. But as Litecoin was going down, did I sell Theta for Litecoin? I sure did. Or during that bottom period when I mentioned with Litecoin, that was two trades I think I made. Then one was Theta for Litecoin, and I think there was another Litecoin trade that I made where I purchased some. So now, as far as these moves, everything is just a sea of red. So it's been a dartboard sell-off right now, as far as the markets are concerned. And let's now take a look at. I look at this in here. So all of these, like, yeah, whatever. Like, I just don't need to look. Maybe this one might be coming soon, which is Bitcoin Cash Litecoin market. This is last traded in the current. So when it goes up, that means the one on the left-hand side is, or the coin with the higher value, which is always the one I put on the left, is the one doing well. So that means I would be selling Bitcoin Cash for Litecoin. And nothing else on the top end in here. And then this one here, Litecoin Theta 912. Wow, interesting. That kind of sucks because I want to. There's still one more person that's looking for under 900 that I know that hasn't been able to trade it. But it is what it is. And then there's just nothing in here for me. All of this is just showing, and this is just a note number that I don't need anymore. Yeah, so that's what I use. That's that. Let's take a look at maybe a little Theta. And like a lot of coins against Bitcoin, ass kick central. Here's something that was 1800 Satoshi, continuous straight move down to the low 900 area. First consolidation to the 18 obviously was a failure. A successful correction within it, but then another failure move because it comes up again to the 18 highs, failing its move. But so far, it's just managed to get back to previous key level. It's hanging in there within the 18, so it is in a bear market where and the sellers are in control of this market. But looking at this on a short-term time frame, here we have starting at 9 o'clock, this thing managing to get up, breaking above this level of resistance in here between 966 and 974. And amongst it, okay, so let's see, you made a statement within this break. It's an okay break, almost like Three Little Bears thing. I suppose it's almost big enough. It's almost a little too small, but not really. I'll count it. It so far had a good price correction since, and we still haven't touched 18. We've barely come back to where we come from, given this high is 981, and right now our current low is 979. So it has technically came back. This high 976, so close enough. So will we go a bit further? I don't know. I can't convincingly say. I think from here it's either good. Like, what's some of the next two moves? We either go down in here, or we start to build some momentum, test this previous area, and see if we can go higher after that. And on say a 4 minute time frame, as far as some of the movements are concerned, just short term, what are we able to pick away at? Obviously, the more short term you go, the lower the volatility. But when you consider we have a high in here at 996, and then a couple periods later, it's got a low of 958. That's a differential of 28 basis points. That's about 3%. And with low trading fees on Binance, then there's so many opportunities where you can try to find strategies to pick away at these moves if so you desire. Of course, you need to have a game plan and how to do it. I just don't want to do it for that short term. I like just playing it within the ratio. But trading against Bitcoin back and forth, it's been extremely volatile. And with a lot of these markets, when we take a look at where they've came from, this was a superior move that happened here in January. But a lot of markets did have great moves early on in the year that overperformed Bitcoin. And now all the buybacks, if trading and such in here. So and no matter how the volatility you're looking for, if you're able to sell, say, at 4,400, if you're looking for markets to go half off, well, the buy at 22 works. If you're looking for 75% off and you sold at 44 and you waited for 1,000, well, the trade profitability is quite amazing in the sense that if you were looking for a 4x move, you could technically buy 4 times more for the Bitcoin that you traded on that. And I'm just, again, what I'm saying is all the volatility means, okay, you get those buybacks and markets go up, markets go down. So what's the next one after down? Well, that's up. Now, whether this will be the move now and we're going to have more legs lower, maybe we come down in here and test like 642 or 7 or something. Maybe. That's what bear markets do. But then if we do go down, there's 628 low. Then if it's even just on a bear market, maybe it goes up to 3,000. Oh, trade backs here and there. And then for me, I'm just going to be using my ratio trading. Let's take a look at theta against Litecoin. That's around 900 and change. This is the 3-day chart. So that November 30th date represents this. That amazing rally that theta had represents this down move because theta's on the right-hand side, the lower, cheaper priced one. So when that goes up, this goes down. And then theta started going down. Litecoin has a rally, and this goes from about 300 to over 1100. Now again at 922. And then all of the intraday moves that you can pick away at. Let's go quickly into the 3. And you look at all of the up and down moves. And you can, like, how many can you point out just by looking at this? Can you find 10 nice little ones? Can you find 12? Like these, you can see here to here, back down here, back up here, back down here, here, and even a little bit here, but whatever on that because of the ratio part. Definitely a big move here, back down here, back up here. Really at this low, yeah, you really might not be, you might be able to pick away at here, but if not, we have this low, then we have this high, this low, this high, this low, this high. And again, if you can't pick away at this, we still got point high here to point low here, which obviously we can see in this point. These are some of the cross references, and there's a lot of different circles that I drew, but how about this move here? A low of 961 and a high of 1,000. That's still like 4%, 3.5% from just this little small little move here. Again, that's your piece of cake. That's your cup of tea to trade that way. Then albeit for me, I want better. Like I say, I'm looking for at least 7% trade since the ratio move has come into play, and so on and so forth. 15-minute term time frame. How do these things look? Well, there was a sudden move down, and here we see, okay, reversal. Hit the 18 in here. Did have a decent retracement but technically it held and stayed the 18 magnificently. Exitation of the 18 occurred in here, and follow through has been looking nice, testing this double hit resistance point because it was hit in here, and curiosity enough. And you know what? I need a comfortable. Oh, I got it. And we'll see. How big is this high? I want to be confident that I got the right Fibonacci in here. But I just want to calculate it just for fun and then see how it happens. We have all these major resistance tests in here. I'm trying to find what the key high is, but I got to think it's that one that's fading out. Yeah, we're talking about a short term. Yeah, I got to use this. Yeah, I'm going to use the Fibonacci from this high to this low. So we got a high in here at 1065. And I'm going to take the low, which is, we'll go 881. I'm only going to put 2 lines in the key ones here, 991 and 947. Okay, and I'm going to be curious in time just to see if those levels become key on any short-term moves. As we can see in here within this time frame, you can just do the draw with a pen, obviously, with a marker, all that type of stuff. You draw these lines together, and I guess for a bit I can do it and then remove it. I just got to find where my drawing tool is, and I can barely see it. Here it is. and then you just draw it in like this, and now the curve again. And you could even do the same thing on the downside. 18 average was in a declining mode to start, had a failed breakout. And you know what? It was a small failed breakout and a small fast move that happened afterwards. And then correcting from that fast move lower. Okay, successful in here. Really a failed breakout attempt, having some support at the 18, but successfully holding its correction. And there's a successful breakout attempt here at 1640, having a nice leg higher to this level, going sideways, then extending it a little bit to this point in here, now correcting it here as well. But if this thing is able to get above, I'd be curious to see if there's a fast move and see how these 947 and 991 levels end up playing out, because I was like, how many people literally care about this ratio, especially the ones that aren't associated with this channel? Is there really anybody else outside of me, or even yourself included, that trades this together? I'd be curious to know. Anyway, take care. Bye bye.